The Fed didn't really deliver any surprises to the market today. It is Tuesday, November the 26th, and we got the minutes from the FOMC meeting on November 7th. And the reason why we like to look at these minutes is when they have their initial meeting, they just release a statement and then typically have a press conference after that. But we get the full context of the meeting, the full meeting minutes, a couple weeks after each meeting. And today we got those meeting minutes from that November meeting. And what I think people were hoping to see was that the Fed was still on their consistent rate cutting path. Instead, what we got today was more indication that they're okay if they need to slow the pace of rate cuts. They're very clearly data dependent, but some of the comments that came out of the official meetings were almost all of the officials saw balanced risks to employment and inflation. There also show that some of the firms are starting to become more reluctant to raise prices, which is good for inflation. However, they're also being more selective in hiring, which is negative for employment. So that's where you get that balance risks between inflation and employment. Now, the equity markets rallied on some of the news today, not necessarily the FOMC minutes, because it wasn't anything majorly different than what we've heard from other Fed officials, but it was really that 60-day ceasefire agreement that we have between Hezbollah and Israel that's caused some of the equities here to rally. In the bond side, we did see interest rates that sold off, and meaning yields rose quite a bit today, but they have now backed up and have come down a little bit on this news that the Fed may not cut as aggressively as some had anticipated. We still think December meetings on the table. It's clearly going to depend on any inflation data, and then specifically really that December, the employment report we'll get for November that we get in early December. That's all we have today. Have a very happy Thanksgiving, and we will be back next week with some more economic data. Please don't forget, if you like this podcast, subscribe, hit that alarm bell, send it to friends, family, or colleagues. And if you'd like a history of our podcast, please feel free to go to marketswithmegan.fm. Thank you.